It's Jack from Alphacharts with a state of the market video. Today is April 26, 2025. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, real quick, find me on X at Alphacharts365. Posting stuff there all the time. I do have a educational group there. It's $10 a week. I'm sorry, $10 a month. I wish it was $10 a week, $10 a month. Um, and it's great. I mean, so what do I give you? I give you in-depth market video on the weekends with extended watch list. Again, you make your own decisions on this, right? So I just share the information. The watch list, that's idea generation. What's holding up best in the market? Focus list video. These are the names I'm looking at for the week and where I'm looking to enter and exit. So I give you specifics here of what I'm doing. Midweek videos on Tuesday and Thursday. Market notes on Sunday and Thursday. Annotated chart setups off the focus list and anything else I see that I'm going to consider entering. Daily market scans, posts just for subscribers, especially when things get wacky out there. We do member live streams. I think I'm going to do one in 2 weeks. Not this weekend, but 2 weeks from today. We're going to do a members live stream again. We do them roughly once a month. I don't tell you to buy or sell. That's your job. My job is just to share the information with you. If you think for $10 a month this is valuable, click that subscribe button and you're in. It's month to month. There is no contracts. The other option, if you are a YouTube only watcher, is to click on subscribe right here. You can't see it because I'm already subscribed to my own channel. But this is where you would do it. Same $10 a month, same information on the video content. I actually do share on the posts. You see like right here, different trade setups and things of that nature. So I do share the annotated charts on the posts as well. Okay, so check that out on the YouTube side. Let's get into these charts. Boom. All right, we're using DeepView, deepview.com if you are interested in this product. SPY. So we have this big, is this a big topping pattern or was this the end of the correction? A, B, C type correction, which is very, very possible, and moving higher. That's what we're going to try to see which way we want to lean as the correction's over and we're in the all clear. And I think that we are close. Now, again, we do also, is this a big top that we need some more symmetry on? And so we got to build out the right side of this top. I don't know the answer to that question quite yet. Let's go look here. All right, so we had the washout days, right? Which really this day was really the washout day, 4-8, 4-7, 4-8. These days were the days that really the bottom was put in. Things got extreme, and then you had this 10% up day. Now, I wasn't quite sold on this 10% up day, but I should have been, honestly, because, again, it was choppy, and there's reason to think that this was just a counter trend bear market type of rally. But price did come up and exceed the top of that bar. I think that's a very positive sign. What else is a positive sign? VWAP from the all-time high. Price is above there. You have the short-term moving averages making the U-turn, moving higher. That's positive. You have a higher low here. That's a positive. Negatives. You've come a long way. You've come from, in 5 days, you've gone 8%, right? Roughly. You have the 50-day screaming down. You have a 200-day flat to declining. Those are the negatives right now off of this chart. So at the very least, I still think we need a pullback. Like Brian Shannon from Alpha Trend says, where did we come from? Where did we go? And do you think it's going to go straight up V bottom? Now, I personally don't. I don't think it's going to be a V bottom. I think we need some sort of pullback here, another higher low relative to this low, and then maybe create the energy to break out. I think that's the bullish scenario. And the bearish scenario is we came into overhead supply and we roll over and we take out this low. So we don't know yet. I just think that right now we are at the max FOMO position. This is where everyone feels like they missed the move. If you did miss the move or all the move or some of the move, you missed the move. And and now you have to try to chase into, and this is where you see those natural pullbacks and you buy late and then you get stopped out, right? So be very, very, very careful early in the week, especially with the earnings next week, because earnings are hot and heavy. So be real careful. So that's kind of how I'm looking at the SPY chart. Looking at the weekly, of course, the total week up was 4.6%, but again, top to bottom was much more than that. And we only kind of came back into this general supply area. So we'll see. Do we get another inside week like this and then inside and up? Maybe. Very, very possible. Also, we had, again, volume wasn't like stellar, right? The last 2 days, these two up days. It's not like you see like people buying hand over fist. It was, it was okay. It was actually a little bit lower than what we've been seeing in this area right there, right? So, yeah. So we got that like also as a potential area for maybe we need to make that higher low. Again, 535, something like that. I'm not talking, I'm not saying it's gonna, come all the way down here. Um, but I would like to see it, this general area, 535-ish. That'd be kind of nice. So looking at the weekly again, we were up 4.6 on the week. RSP was up 2.94. So we know mega caps influence quite a bit. Again, nice bullish outside bar right there. Um, very similar. All these charts look very, very similar with that higher low, and all that stuff. Qs, same thing. There's your big mother bar, your breakout. Again, very, very nice bar. Again, lower volume. Notice how the volume here is declining. Let me change that to black. Notice how the bar right here is declining so everyone can see this. Right there, right? As we're moving higher. Again, is volume like the end all be all for me? It's not, but it is something that I'm going to take notice of when there's time to take notice of it. And I see that. So yes, it looks good. There's your overhead 50-day. Maybe we come up, we tag it for 80-ish or so. And then do we have to, I still think we have to make a higher low, and that's going to be the opportune time to get involved if you have not been involved already, right? If you have been involved, then you're managing positions at this point. But again, lower volume, would love to see maybe a retest of the breakout, maybe 467. Doesn't have to be like a significant spot. Let these moving averages catch up. That's it. Again, on the week, you had a big 6.41 week. It's almost as much as this week right here, right? This just came in basically one day. But a very strong week overall. And then you had on the equal weights, they were up 5.26. Again, very, very strong. And that was roughly the same as, again, this bar right here. So again, two strong out of the last three, and just a little inside week right there. That's nice looking setup. So again, I don't think we could be, we have to be erring on the side of, okay, we have a very constructive price action. Same problems though. You still have a declining 50-day and a 200-day that is flat to declining, right? Really declining at this point. And so we're gonna have to deal with that at some point, not too in the not too distant future. Mid caps, they were up 3.13. Again, they look great, and also IWM looking real good up at 4%. And we'll just look at this IWM again above the 23-day, two closes above. I think that's a big deal. That's my orange line. But you still have to deal with this 200 level, 201, 200. That's not too far ahead to deal with, about 3% higher. Looking at the sectors, one of the things that we really liked throughout the week was that this head and shoulders top, which confirmed, retook the level, the neckline, retook the 200-day, and is looking pretty good again. So that is a huge positive. SMH retook this potential neck breakdown neckline area, right? Support resistance, whatever you want to call it. Really zoomed up. I would love to see this come back, retest it, hold, and then move higher. That would be amazing, right? Because on the week, it's moved 10% on the week. Very similar again to this bar right here. It's just extended. We need to, unwind, settle down a little bit. XSD up 12.66, better than SMH. That's really nice to see. Has not retaken the neckline yet, but that's okay. Again, very strong week. Then there's transports. Transports were actually down yesterday, and on the week only up, well, basically flat, up 0.29. So transports are saying, hold your horses. Maybe we're not in the all clear, right? XTN, I think, which is more important, looks even a little bit worse, and they were down 3% on the week. Wow. And then, yeah, so 3% on the week, right? So transports are saying, hey, there's still issues out there in the economy. There's still issues going on. So, was that weekly? No, I'm sorry. They were up 1.1 on the week. I lied. Up 1.1 on the week. And okay, and these transfers were up 0.29. All right, so they did participate. Wasn't as good as the other stuff, but they participated. That's something. All right, I still think transports need to get above the 23 day and start the new uptrend. We're gonna leave that there. And then there's housing. Housing was something that was really when we started the decline, we said watch out for, housing could be the tell, and so far it has been. On the week, ITB was up 2.46, so that's a nice week. Still underneath a lot of supply, but it's starting to make some headway. You have the 50-day at $95, 95.23. So that's going to be a spot that's going to be really interesting because it's underneath the neckline. So it's going to have to retake a lot of levels, which I'm here for. If this is, I think that goes a for us to long way for us to give us confidence in the market if we start to retake 95 in the 50-day and then start retaking 97, right? That's a big deal. XHB, again, very, very similar. And brings us to the mags. And the mags were rocking this week. They were up 9.44, so very big week for the Mag 7. Above the two, close above the 23-day. There's your 50-day right above. And again, I can see us getting up there to tag it, and then that's where the rubber kind of meets the road. We do have this flat 200-day. Flat to almost declining at this point, right? Yes, starting to decline. Again, we went far. Bottom to top, you're talking about a 15% move on the week. I mean, I really do think this needs to come back. Maybe it says 45, right? And then it goes. Would love to see this, this 23-day curl up. We retested around 45. That's right where the 10-day, 9-day is as well. And that looks good to me, right? That's the constructive part. A lot of growth stocks moved. I'll just add this a little bit in the end. My watch list for subscribers has 35 names on there. It's we've pivoted from a more defensive gold miner type of stance to more of a growth stock type of stance because that's what's working at least for now. And let's just go right here to this and look at the theme tracker. And again, this is something I usually share with subscribers, but we'll share with you guys as well. You can see how, it was miners and utilities and staples, and there's miners and utilities and staples. But this week it was semiconductors and blockchain and software and genomics and technology. Much more bullish look. And that's 1 week. You see on the month, it's not quite there yet, but it's improvement and much improvement also on the year to date. So the goal is to we're going to avoid this big drawdown, which us and subscribers have done, and then we'll go to SPY. This big drawdown right here. You may never catch the perfect bottom, but get involved as it's basing. And if it just pulls back some right here, what did you really miss? A lot of volatility, basically, is what you missed. And if it tightens up, it makes the right side of a base, which this could be the left side of a base, and this could be the right side and breaking out. That would be by far the bullish scenario. And again, you missed all of this, you missed the aggravation, you got in here, you work on the right side of the base, which is the strong part of the base and bullish side of the base. And maybe we go to all-time highs, hopefully again, right? We'll see. Day by day, week by week. If you haven't done so, at Alphacharts 365, click that subscribe button. I'm telling you, I think for the extra ideas on the side for $10 a month, it is the best deal out there. So again, share a ton of information. You pick and choose what you want to watch and read and see and whatever. You don't have to, you could look at all of it. You could say, okay, I only love his videos. I only want to read his notes. I only like this. I only like that. For $10 a month, it's less than a Chipotle meal, please. It's no inflation here, right? No tariffs, no inflation. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.